Welcome to the Mayor's Vlog. If you did not know, this past Wednesday I was recently invited to the White House where the president convened maybe 40 leaders from around the country, a few mayors, police chiefs, the Fraternal Order of Police, activist organizations, the millennial organizations, as well as the old organizations as well, NAACP, National Action Network. It was an incredible meeting that took place in the White House in the Eisenhower building for about 4.5 hours. We discussed issues as it relates to the police and particularly communities of color and all of the incidents, the terrible incidents that have been happening in this country, not just for the last few weeks or months, but as we know, have been happening for years, decades, even centuries in this country. Plus the senseless and tragic killing of those police officers in Dallas, allowed us the opportunity to come together and have a dialogue, a real serious and open dialogue about what's happening in our community, about the humanity of Americans, or the reason why a young white kid with a toy gun can be looked at as a child that's playing, and Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old with a toy gun, can be looked at as a perpetrator and shot and killed. My perspective in the meeting is clearly unique in the sense that we are here in Newark, New Jersey, where we're witnessing high levels of gun violence in our city, as well as being under a consent decree where police have obviously shown misconduct. As a kid, I've been organizing in this city, marching around police misconduct, police brutality, calling for a civilian complaint review board. And now as the mayor of the city, we have the opportunity to do some of the things that we've called for. We actually have in place now the civilian complaint review board, probably one of the strongest in the country in its infancy stages, that we are organizing and hopefully will begin to address some of the issues that we have. We have a civilian in charge of our internal affairs here in the city. We do Occupy the Block, where police officers go out and talk to the community one-on-one. We have a Cops and Kids program run by my brother's Keeper, where police officers talk to teenagers and try to mitigate any issues or perceptions that they have of one another. We are trying our best to make sure that we repair the relationship between the community and the police. Our new recruits, we hired over 300 new officers, and officers weren't hired in this city for the last 4 years. And in that training, we're giving them more de-escalation training, more community sensitivity training around domestic violence. I mean, things that we think are necessary to get them to operate in our community in a humane way. We're doing some things that have never been done in the city. We're also using some of the police officers' budget to hire social workers to try to deal with young kids that are getting caught their first or second time, so they won't graduate into a life of crime. We have street workers out in the community to help us de-escalate tension and violence and disputes between individuals in our community. We have Street Academy, where we are trying to grab kids that are not employed and not engaged in school of any sort and put them in community service in school and pay them to do that. So we're being very creative about what we're trying to do in the community to mitigate crime or to abate it or stop kind of violence and crime, but also repair a relationship, a historical relationship of distrust, relationship of abuse between the police in a community. And the police in Newark have been really receptive to moving forward with this idea. We have a public safety director that has embraced it, and we are very optimistic about our ability to make serious change in the city, not just about reducing crime, but also improving our relationship with the neighborhood and the community at the same time. At the meeting at the White House, there was discussions about protest, and that actually started the discussion that we had about how protesters are treated. In some cities, they're being tear gassed. Over hundreds of them are being locked up. Here in Newark, we are working hard to make sure that we protect people's right to protest, their right to assemble, their right to redress their grievances, that we understand that protesters are the community. We don't have to protect them from the community or protect the community from them. We know clearly that people have a right in First Amendment to protest, to assemble, and we expect to make sure that we protect that right here in the city of Newark. In fact, we have some protests that are coming up, and I'm confident that our police forces in the city of Newark will do their job to make sure that everyone is safe, and that the city is safe, and that the protesters are safe at the same time. Hopefully, you will continue to be engaged in this dialogue. We plan on having a larger dialogue with the Institute for Social Justice and some of the corporate community partners, and the police department, and the state police and prosecutor's office, the attorney general's office, to bring people together to have a real dialogue in this county, in this state, as it relates to the issues that the president was talking about and what's happening around this country, where some people's lives matter more than others, and it's important for us and for me as the mayor of the largest city in the state to be able to take a position here, a position that says that, one, we want to fight crime and make sure that all of our communities are safe, but at the same time that we ensure that justice lives in all of these communities, no matter where they are, and that people should not be judged by where they live or the color of their skin or the language that they speak, and that our police officers are here to serve the community and not occupy the community. And I'm more than confident that all of us together in Newark, those of good conscience and good mind, will come together and make sure that Newark is a model for the rest of the cities around the state and around the country, that we are going to solve very hard and difficult issues, and we're going to do it together with a sense of humanity, with a sense of unity, with a sense of togetherness, with the Constitution in mind, and with people's humanity in mind. And we can do this because we are Newark.